Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. We shall be discussing the life and death of Jeffrey Dahmer and his 17 victims, as represented in Ryan Murphy's excellent put together 10 parts dramatic series Monster, and that on Netflix, which was very well done. And we said we were going to discuss it, so let's get to it. I shall ask the question: what did you know about Jeffrey Dahmer before this, and what did you learn? I like to address those two things. Kim, what did you know about Jeffrey Dahmer before this, and what did you learn?
Yeah, I knew he was a serial killer. I knew he was a cannibal serial killer. I knew that, that his dad was always there for him, no matter how sick, sadistic it was. His dad was always there for him. I knew his mom was a loon, and she was horrible to him as a child. Knew that. Something that I didn't know. I don't think that I knew everything because I watched all the documentaries. I watched interviews with his parents, his dad, the interview he did with his dad. I don't.
May I ask how old you were in 1991 when this thing hit the? Hit the
screen? I was 24 because I had just had my son, my younger son, 31-year-old. Yeah. I was pregnant the whole time, and pretty bored too because I had to be home for 6 months during the pregnancy, so I was bored. But I was floored when I heard about what he was doing, all of that stuff. It's just, but I don't feel like I learned anything new. Like I knew the police were pieces of shit when it came to this whole thing. Like all of them, all the ones that were involved. I knew that. So I don't think there was nothing that I didn't know.
All right. Yeah. Well, okay, let's go around. Chris, what did you know? What did you learn?
Yeah, I pretty much knew practically everything. I said before, I love horror movies. That's my favorite genre. And I love watching documentaries, and watching ID channel is one of the things I always watch. So when they profile serial killers, I always watch that shit. So I pretty much watched, so I pretty much watched and knew pretty much everything about this dude. Obviously, I didn't know I knew of Glenda Cleveland, but I didn't know some of the details of her. Like I knew she was the woman that called the cops several times. You know what I mean? So I knew items like that, but I don't know. I was a little bit excited when they we talked about Ed Gein or whatnot, the reason why we had the movie Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and obviously John Wayne Gacy, which is why every kid of today is now scared shitless of clowns. You know what I mean? So, that's why I was just really just impressed with Evans Peters' performance of this. So pretty much everyone in this movie. So, yeah.
All right. Stacey, what did you know? What did you learn?
I knew he killed and ate people. I didn't learn about the sex stuff until I got older. I didn't know he was living in an apartment killing people. I didn't know the police were this incompetent. And what else? There are some liberties that have been taken with some of these characters based on some of the documentaries I watched. Like Tracy was just the one that got away. He claims he's not gay. He didn't meet him in a gay club. But whatever.
Exactly.
That's what he said on the stand. So he hasn't been telling the truth.
He was serious about that.
He was snapping more than any other.
Listen, I don't know.
He was serious about that.
He was straight. He was at the mall. And he just needed some money. He looked a little crackish, so maybe he was just gay for a rock or two. I don't know what was going on with that. Like, I don't know about men. Did y'all just go home with just random men just to have beers and watch football and shit? I don't know how that works, but whatever. I don't remember knowing anything about his family life. Like, I guess his brother David was like, the hell with y'all, I'm changing my name and I'm going off to live my best life.
He just
have not heard a peep from him.
He changed his name. No, that's done on purpose. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I think I would have done the same thing. I would have done exactly the same thing. Leave me alone. Yeah. Like I didn't even grow up with this. Well, I grew up partly with him, But when he started going bananas, I didn't even notice, dude. Like,
I was like, that's my brother. I'm no longer a Dahmer. Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-mm.
Like,
And
when
then I didn't know he was in the army. I didn't know that either. And I guess he was raping people in the army. Wow. And he got away with that in the army. So I don't know. There was a lot going on with this dude
in the military.
Yeah.
So for me, I was 13 when in 1991 when the story came out. So I generally heard cannibal. I thought he was in Washington State, like in my head. Like I thought he was in Washington State. He was killing people.
I didn't know where he was either.
I didn't know he was in Milwaukee. I didn't know that. And then like I remember he had a head in the refrigerator. I remembered that. I heard the story that he immediately got murdered in prison and he got a broomstick stuck up his ass, and that's how he died. That's what I heard. So till this day, I was like, this whole time I'm watching this special, I'm like, he's gonna get a broomstick stuck up his ass, and that's gonna make it all worth it. And when he gets beat to death, I was like, where's the broomstick? And I was upset. So then I started searching. I was like, this can't be how he really died. And I was like, damn it.
I did think that poll was going to go somewhere.
You wanted sodomy.
I
was like, I watched this movie for sodomy.
I heard that's what I heard. And all these years, I was like, he finally got it in the ass. And like, he didn't. I wasn't the only one, though. There was a whole Reddit thing. It was like, I know y'all heard he got it with a broomstick. Yeah. That's not what happened.
But were they all upset as you, like you, though? That's the question.
I felt the fury. That's why they put it on the internet. I was mad. I was like, when he was killing that poor boy, I was like, you're going to get up the ass one day. But it did not happen. But
and that's another thing I didn't know. He was like convicted child molester or
yes,
sex offender or whatever. Didn't know that.
I was like, what?
And he's just walking around living his best life.
Yo, just beating off in public. They like just let it roll. I thought the production was awesome. Ryan Murphy truly did it again. I thought the pacing was amazing. Casting was perfect, and even with the small little characters. And I thought episode 6 was by far the best.
His casting was a bit off.
You say?
Yeah. Well, he was a tall, light-skinned guy, and this was like a little short, brown-skinned dude. Tracy. The first guy.
Yeah.
The guy from American Gigolo? The guy from American Gigolo? Was that the guy you were saying? I was like, this is not okay, bro. I was like, you should have picked a different role. I would stay with on Showtime.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Niecy's character. I mean, she maybe kind of looked like Glenda.
No, she didn't.
Other than that,
Glenda is a combination of people.
She was a combination of like two characters.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah. She was like Vanessa Bass and Glenda and one other character, I guess.
And that was so we got to start separating fact from fiction. That was my fault, because I was like, there's been a lot of time on Glenda and how she felt, and that started getting on my nerves.
And it wasn't like, you're not gonna sit in your apartment and listen to people get murdered next door.
Like,
you're not gonna do it. Like, the real lady was like, oh, he was nice. I didn't even know. Besides the smell, they didn't understand what was happening. It's not like you listen to
lady
people
that lived
get
across
murdered.
the hall from him?
Whatever the little crackhead lady is, Pamela Bass or whatever her name is.
Oh, Bass was
the one that ate his sandwiches.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, those pork sandwiches. Oh my goodness.
So
apparently a bunch of them.
Yeah,
a bunch of them.
That's her name. Yeah.
So was that legit pork, or was he feeding her like?
He doesn't know.
You don't know.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
Know.
Shit.
And he refused to talk about it, even though the roommates, even though the apartment dweller was like, I probably ate human.
Oh damn! It's like, it's so tender. It's so tender.
This tastes like musicals.
It's like,
I don't know why she would accept that. That was kind of puzzling to me. Because I would never accept food from a neighbor.
Especially when their apartment stinks.
Yeah, I mean, smells to high heaven. You walk into the building, you smell this man's apartment, you're gonna eat from him? That was just odd. I was like, are you?
She said she was on crack, so that's that.
Well, I mean, I understand that portion, but still, you have a sense of smell, right? Yeah. So does that bypass the crack or what?
She said, does it though? Like, if you hungry, you like, you know what? I smelled it done worse. So it's a sandwich. Like, let's just eat.
I couldn't do. I was very repulsed by that. I was like, this is disgusting. But And that's another thing too. Like when as much as they complained about the smell, right? Like dead bodies. Have you guys ever smelled a dead body or like pieces of it? I have when I was a child. That's a smell that does not get out of your
That's
sight.
what everybody says is very distinct, and you know it from anything else.
Period. Like period. And it's disgusting. So I don't know how you wouldn't move. Like you've complained to the police, you've complained to the janitor or whoever.
I would burn the building down. Just burn it down.
But it knocked it down.
And you can call like the the health department.
Well, they said in the show that she did call.
It was disgusting though. Like, and how did the health department not help her? I called the health department for a leak in a Section 8 apartment, and they came right away. Like, so I was, I don't know what was going on there. That was a little weak for me.
You okay, Chris?
He's having a sandwich.
Oh yeah, y'all get
Yum. Human.
Is it beef?
Does it look like a finger?
I was like,
more like a pinky toe, Della Reese.
Ew.
Oh my god.
So when I casting again, so like I said, like Dahmer was awesome. Like Jeffrey, like Evan Peters did a great job becoming Dahmer. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. He did.
Also, episode 6 was by far the most touching one for me. We talked about Tony Anthony Hughes. In
the tears. The tears were, I could not stop. I had to cut it off, get myself together, and then cut it back. I couldn't stop the tears. They didn't stop until the middle of episode 7. Like that's when I could pull myself. I was still watching, but that was, oh my gosh, it was terrible.
His story was so touching, and clearly they're making this shit up. You know what I'm saying? But they
found the notebook with all the notes.
Well, the little notes.
Yeah.
All I could think of, if this was 2010, you guys would have been fine because it would have been like, hey,
they would have texted each other. Yep.
I was like, but the way they went to his birth and to his life, to be like, it was like a whole movie just for him. To be like, he overcame.
I thought he would have survived a little bit longer. Like I didn't expect him to die just that quickly. I thought they would have like a little bit of a relationship.
But they gave him one for some reason. Like they were like, oh, I didn't want to drug him at first, and we kind of dated, and I was like, this jukebox and her white girlfriend, like they were like, oh, we're gonna hang out and do photo shoots together.
It made, to me, I felt like they made it seem like Dahmer really felt for him, like he loved him, right? As far as Dahmer could, right? Because he's never had like an actual relationship. But to me, I felt like they were trying to portray that Jeffrey was open to a normal relationship, right? And we know that's not true, because once you say, I gotta go, you're dead. See ya. That's it. Because he
clearly had abandonment issues,
Well, your daggone mother leaves you. Well, first off, you're never bonding with your mom. Then your mother actually takes your brother. Who does that? That you're basically saying,
she told him to come on, and he was like, no. So she was like, all right, then, peace.
That's true.
She didn't really want him, and he didn't want to leave his dad. She didn't want him. And if she really
the daddy went there either.
Yeah.
His father abandoned him too.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was there for 3 months. That's how he ended up killing the hitchhiker.
Yes.
That's how we're shown.
And he was 17 years old. 17 is still, that's not old. And especially with you guys are men, sometimes at 17, you still need a parent. Like you still need them for certain things. He was abandoned, like to me, his entire life. His father tried though. I would say his father gave more of an effort than his mother did. His father tried. I mean, he did things that he probably shouldn't have done, like the dead, road killing.
What's up, Chris?
I don't think that was really the cause though of his mother. I mean, yes, I think like that's where the Netflix kind of embellished some of it a little bit. Yes, his mother was a piece of shit. Yes, but the way they made it, just like kind of throughout the entire show, kind of made it seem like that was the cause. I really truly think it was like when she was pregnant, she started taking those 27 pills a day while she was still pregnant with the baby, and then gave birth to him, and it was like an emergency, like was it C-section or something ridiculous, whatever. I think that like there between that and maybe like what was going on in his father's brain too, I think that was really more of the cause more than anything. The mother, I don't know. That was the one thing with Netflix. I thought they kind of played with a little bit too much. I felt like,
but they tested serial killers, and most serial killers. Did you ever watch the show on Netflix, the one about the profilers?
Mindhunter.
Yeah, and even in that, they tell you that they have real, and then they're still studying serial killers. Yeah. When you don't have a bond with your mother as a baby, that's the most important bond of your life. Period. And most of these serial killers did not have that. They did not get it. And then throughout their lives, their parents did not bond with them, their mother especially. And it does something to the child's brain. The child, it's something that they need, because what happens is they don't have any empathy or sympathy. Yeah. They don't know how to react to like normal stuff. Like, if I see you getting stabbed, I'm going to be horrified. They can stand there and watch someone being killed and be like, wow, okay. Or if someone is crying and they're begging for their life, they don't feel it. They're just kind of like, well, yeah, I'm still going to kill you. Like, and you got to watch. If you watch as many documentaries as I watch, you have.
I do. And I'm not denying that the parent thing, but here's the deal. One thing that I thought they were going to focus more on, but it didn't make, I guess, a better story, was the fact that his stepmother was in his life pretty much almost his entire life. You know what I mean? Like, they divorced young, him and his parents. So his mother, like he even said in interviews, his stepmother was his mother. You know what I mean? So yes, I know no one will ever be like your actual mother. Okay, we get that. But it just made it seem like they were just trying to throw it more of an excuse.
But she didn't get to be his stepmother till he was 17.
No, but he was in his life since he was like,
he was 17 when they got a divorce.
When they got a divorce. But he knew, but they were in the relationship by 14. That's what the show did talk about.
So
no, they were both they were cheating on each other. He put up the divorce. No, I'm not. They both did shit. They were both shit.
Right. So. We know that, but I'm just saying, but the stepmother did not, because he was cheating with the stepmother. He was cheating with the secretary, who eventually became the stepmother, but he wasn't. But he wasn't involved. Jeffrey wasn't involved in that woman's life until he actually started to live with them. Yeah. And they took him in and started to help him. He was 17 by that point. So yes, that woman has always been there with him after 17, but before that, no.
Yeah, but okay, and you're also forgetting the fact that all the horrible stuff he thought about as a kid when they weren't divorced. You see what I'm saying? It's just another. You're not wrong as far as, yes, you need a parent before you can wind up doing stuff like that, like wind up being behind bars. But to do that is way more than just a parent leaving you. A whole lot more than that. You know what I mean? So in that case,
there's some biological stuff. There's some nature and nurture stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of
because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of boys that grew up with no mother. You know what I mean? And not everyone all around them wound up becoming like the next John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
You know what I mean?
It's like, but some have two parents, and sometimes with people with two parents do end up. I mean, but like we definitely saw like it was definitely he had some home issues, but he also had some personal issues, that he was
he had mental illness. Like that's what he got from his mother. He got mental, and his father too. They both had mental illness. So
he was fucked.
Yeah.
So to that, so I did notice that his defense attorney did say that that being a sociopath, he felt that it was like documented that he was a sociopath, but that's not a legal defense. That that they didn't want to qualify that as legal defense. And he was also went to the whole study of serial killers that that don't necessarily kill this man, study him and give him an opportunity to explain how people become like him. Again, the mom wanted to study the brain, and they're like, nope. Like, we're burning this thing with the body, which I know you could just do that. Like, take a brain out, burn the body, and don't tell anybody for a while to be like, oh yeah, we still got the brain. Anybody want to do something with this? I was like, that was weird. And the right, it's like we tasted it. It don't taste different. We did taste, but because they said John Wayne Gacy, his brain again, he died. I mean, he was murdered. He died and recently, like around the same time. So was there a lot of comparisons to those two, Kim? Do you remember they were always like, John Wayne Gacy just died. His crimes were 1978. No. He just put them under the basement. But like,
he just buried them.
That was 31 people. Like 27 were just
and counting.
And they were kids. They were kids. They were teenagers. They were children. He was horrible.
Yeah, and they still think that he killed more people, but again, he never talked. So the bodies they found, like, but not only just underneath his house, but the plots around his land and whatnot, those are the ones they found. But they asked him if it was more, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never killed anyone. So they suspect because there's more missing kids. Oh, there was more than 33 missing kids, and they suspect they were like linked to him. Oh, so, but he died. He died with unanswered questions. So.
Look at Tony Anthony Hughes, Shirley Hughes, his mother. I thought was once I saw her, like when I watched the family statement, impact statements, and when I saw her, I was like, this casting was so good because I knew who she was when she walked into the room, and I was like, on me. I was like, but I also thought Angela Bassett. I think could have played that character. I think that would have been awesome.
I was just thinking, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, off the screen, I was like, you know what? They could put some Angela Bassett in there somewhere.
Like that would have been her. For her to give that speech with the whole "this means love," I would have been like, oh baby, no. I would be like,
nah, they would have to make her niece's character because Angela Bassett's presence is so larger than life that she would just stole the entire moment from everybody else. So nah, they would have to make her niecey just so she could have her moment. Like talking to Reverend Jackson or something.
Talking when she was Reverend Jackson, I was like, which I thought was opportunist, and I didn't appreciate that. But I thought it, as much as they gave Anthony Hughes a story, they gave him an episode, like they tried to flush him out, like trying to make it feel. I kind of wanted, and they didn't really bring him up. Was Edward Warren Smith, his brother J.W. Smith? He was one of the first people that gave an impact statement in the actual thing. And like he had 12 brothers and sisters. I was like, shit. Like I think that would have been an interesting story to be like, how did he get to this point? And like his family story, I thought, because they tried to really explore the victims. I thought he would have been a good victim to kind of flush out with that, which I didn't see like represented in the story. Would you? Because I got mixed feelings about Conrack. The right, because like the boy with the drill in the head and all that shit.
Bad parenting.
I say bad decisions. This boy's brother was molested by Jeffrey Dahmer. He went to jail for that shit. Like that's not no secret. He knew that. And to go home with this dude, of all the dudes, I'm like, I'm sorry, bro, but sometimes you put yourself in positions, and I'm like, I had a lot less sympathy for this for this villain, for this victim.
That part, I think Netflix embellished the truth as far as him knowing Jeffrey Dahmer was the one that did it. Because they never said that his young brother was even at the court trial for his brother. So they're basically what they're basically saying is he didn't know who Jeffrey Dahmer was the one who assaulted his brother in real life. But the show, they made it, they put the line in there.
Bad parenting.
So if
yeah. There we go. Yeah.
We get back.
That is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Like, damn.
Like I remember Stranger Danger. Like, look, your brother went home with this guy. You see him? The only white man in the neighborhood, apparently. Stay away from him.
Like of all the dudes to sell your body, and just like for them to put that in, it had to be true. I would have sued the fuck out of them. Don't make it like my son consciously went home with the man that molested his brother, and to be surprised that he ends up with a drill in his head. Like I'm like, fuck. I'm like, but then the cops, that was totally crazy that they were like, he can't speak English. He's my lover. He's gay. I'll just put him back in the room.
I got pictures of him. Like what?
What? Like, hey y'all.
Can we all say that that's white privilege?
Yeah,
because that's what that was.
Something.
That's what that was.
I don't. You know what?
I would say more.
I think it was kind of that. I think some.
It was definitely homophobia.
I think I was gonna say it was homophobia. I think it was more homophobic because they were like, "Oh, this gay shit." Okay, all right, whatever. Y'all.
So was it homophobia when he got stopped and had the body in the trunk and
that was pretty much. Again.
I don't take care of their own privilege there either.
That wasn't homophobia though. That was privilege.
No, but it also wasn't white privilege. Not with the whole garbage can. That was just someone. He said, "Hey, look, I'm here to take the trash out," and that's a rational thing.
I'm talking about when he
the fact that they let him drive home knowing that he was drunk.
Right.
Like they didn't even offer him a ride. They were just like,
they
go
just
home.
let him go.
That was
what?
But again, when you're in control and you have power, you look after your own people. So
I see your point. Like I mean, a lot of things was working for him. Yes, I mean he was white talking to white cop. I mean I agree with that. We don't know how much of that was like legit true and how much that was drama.
No, that actually happened. That did happen.
So it'd be like I'm like
he kept getting away with it. That's the one he said that even in interviews. He just kept getting away with it. And if somebody keeps continuing to let you get away, you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
To Kim's point, where I do agree that where it was the white privilege was when the other homie escaped. The one where the Netflix version where the grandmother helped the black kid go on that bus or whatnot, and he tells the cop saying, "I got no record."
And that wasn't. Grandmother was never a part of that.
Yeah, the grandmother was never there. It's just like literally he let him go. Essentially, he just let him go. But essentially, he essentially just say, "Hey, look, I got no criminal record. He has a criminal record, and I'm telling you what happened, and you're going to take his word over mine." And essentially, he was like, "Well, I got no evidence here," and then it just let him go. All those times
there wasn't a registry back then. I'm assuming there wasn't like a registry back then.
Yeah. Because he should register as a sex offender when he came to the neighborhood. But I don't know.
That didn't start happening until like the 90s maybe, that people started be putting on a list.
After him, they were like, "Yeah, we got to create a registry.
We got to start doing that." It's Tony Hughes, the deaf guy. Like he was Dahmer is evil by nature. I mean, I don't think he said that himself. Like he was like, "I'm not trying to blame society or no shit. Like this is just who I am." And I respect that to the extent that as other people, he was like, "Nah, this is me."
And he said, "I've always been this way." When he was a child, he recognized that he was this way. Like he knew it.
He was very aware yet unaware. Like, your house stinks, and yet you keep bringing random people to your house.
John Wayne Gacy, the same thing though, and yes, caught that shit. But like, and that was 31 bodies. I mean, he had all kinds of white little boys on his house.
Yes.
I mean, I was like 33. That's a lot of, and again, only 27 in the house. I would say, but like 33, like victims all together. And I'm like, he just kept on doing it because it's like these are runaways. No one gives a fuck. And it's like, and if you don't look scary, you ain't scary. You move to a good neighborhood. I mean, like it just worked out. It's definitely homophobia.
The smell is what got me. I'm like,
how did you not smell? How did you not smell that? 27. How do you not smell that shit? And then you talk about the property manager. Like when I was looking at this thing, you want to blame like the white man society, black property manager, at least the drama that we're given. Black property managers living there almost on a day-to-day basis. And you can't fucking go into this. You don't smell it. You don't go into this apartment to be like, what the fuck is going on? Where's the smell coming from? Like that don't make no damn sense. Like the owners don't come down to be like, this could be a health hazard. They can call health and services on it. Like, there's so many reasons that someone should have been like, we need to look into this. Homophobia is definitely a part. It's recordings on Please even making gay jokes. Yeah, I mean the homophobia was definitely a lot more homophobia than I would say that like the race issues, but even among black people, like black people are homophobic. Not all of us, but a lot of us.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are.
A lot of us. Like Prophet King in the comments was saying how many Def Jam jokes was about this shit. Because there's like, because these victims were gay. I was like that cannot be overlooked. Like a lot of us didn't take it very seriously, because of that. Just to let you know, spill the tea, my account got deleted. Damn.
Hey girl, what you been doing?
What?
Yeah, girl, what you?
Oh, what you been posting about?
I was wondering where you were. I didn't realize you had to get a whole new account. I mean, what happened?
She probably posted something bad about Woman King or something.
She been in these YouTube streams.
She was like, I feel like 55 of our subscribers are just her, and I appreciate that. I feel like she has a whole botnet of and she just bumped up our channels. He was 14. He should have been outside by himself at night anyway. And again, I really want to know how much of that story was true. So
which one?
Conrad's story that he was just sitting outside, 14 years old, looking for beer
outside the liquor store. Kids used to do that though. I do remember stuff like that.
But I'm like, what, to your point, like bad parenting, bro. And then if he's like, I'm selling myself to the man that molested my brother because I ain't got no money, but then said family balls out with their son's wedding, like in the same series. I'm like, this doesn't.
They get the settlement by then.
I was gonna say they had the money. They had that money.
They had the
They had
by then.
Oh, that's real.
Right?
That's real fucked up. Yeah, man, that's real fucked up. His father was to blame. If he didn't know that Jeffrey,
Well, at least they had a father, unlike every other victim.
Yo, I was so mad when I saw so many black men up there, no daddies whatsoever. I was like, where? Just act like you have one, just somewhere. Victim statements. There were 9 victim statements. None of them were fathers. Mostly mothers, brother and uncle.
Brothers.
Isn't it more powerful when it comes from a woman, though?
I mean, it's probably more emotional.
Yeah, it's more emotional, so like it's more impactful. That's like an impact statement, you know. No, I know there's an algorithm for that. That's why a lot of times, like with parents, usually like they'll give more time towards a mother. You know what I mean?
All right, so I just had the file. I don't know. I just felt bad, especially for the black men.
Even like the home when they were at the people's houses, there still was no fathers there.
Yeah. When they showed Shirley Hughes, no daddy whatsoever. Not Anthony's daddy. I'm saying not. And then Claudia and like her character, like she has a daughter.
So when you guys are saying that there's no father, are you saying that Ryan Murphy purposely decided not to air the fathers? Or do you realize that if he's telling the true story, their fathers were not in their lives?
Either way, it's
if they're not in their lives, why is he going to portray it just to make?
Why portray some of the stuff he portrayed that didn't really happen?
So that is true. To throw a dad in there.
So Glenda,
that wasn't really there. The dad wasn't really there.
We're not saying put him there if he wasn't there. We're saying why were they not there?
And so
because if they weren't there in real life, why is he going to throw them?
Why weren't they there in real life? It's the
nobody knows why dads are not there. They just not.
It's just so again, so for two stories, like again, we're saying it's just sad in general that especially for the black men, there was not even a mention of how this impacts the father from the mothers or anybody else. Then so Glenda's story, her daughter did have a boyfriend or whatever. You can stay with, and like he wasn't even there. Like I'm hard pressed to believe that this man was like, I'm gonna let my baby and my baby mama hang out in crack apartment while I know someone's being killed, and I'm just not gonna be there. I'm not gonna show up, no nothing, just to be like.
I've never seen in any of the documentaries that they showed dads for any of these victims. Any of the people that actually talked. There were no dads who spoke. It was all like grandmothers or moms or brothers or sisters. There were no dads in the documentaries that I've seen where they were talking to the real people. So
yeah, it just I don't know. I thought it was bad. John Wayne, I just felt bad. I guess maybe that's a better word. John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer were both killed in the same year. Yeah. So one got by lethal injection, and the other one by Christian, who took matters in his home. Because, and again, I felt that was a setup, because how did this man is left alone to murder 2 people by himself?
Oh, it was.
Yeah, and the CO just left. He was like,
yeah.
See ya.
So they had to investigate him because they were like, oh well, I had to tend to something else. But everyone, like even working in prison, like suspected like, nah, he didn't like him, and he just like, oh, let me go over here while this guy yeah.
Also, and again, I don't know how much of the story is true that they're like Christian, the murderer was like, oh my God, this is guy. Carver. Yeah, he was like, why is Jeffrey in here? I just need to know. Could y'all Google him for me? And like I'm like, shouldn't y'all have known? I mean, he got 900 plus years. I think people
every crime show I've seen, like when people go to jail, everybody just immediately knows what they've done. Like
they were like,
so it was weird that the most notorious serial killer of this time frame, nobody knows why he's there. He's making jokes about eating fingers, but nobody knows.
Maybe he was in a hole for a long time. I don't know.
They did put him. They did isolate him for a little while.
Jeffrey was an asshole. Can we agree that all of that he brought a lot of that shit on himself?
Oh, he certainly did. And I thought that stuff was made up until I read the story. He in fact did was like taunting these fucking.
So other law enforcement folks basically said that Chris might have just kind of embellished it, Chris Carver, because he changed the story. He originally said that wasn't why he basically kind of plunged him in the head or whatnot. Then he changed it up by basically saying, hey, he made food and turned it into like like body parts or whatever, so I don't know. So that's the part where I was like, okay, I don't know if that
to
part
everybody,
was real or
Chris.
not.
Like, I mean, it was in the middle of the prison. So I mean, whether he changed the story or not, it had to be.
Well, I guess my point is no other inmate corroborated what he said.
Okay, well, all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
so it's just that's kind of weird. Like everyone else witnessed it. Why are you the only one saying, "Oh, this is what happened"?
And I was wondering, did Jeffrey do that on purpose? Like maybe he wanted it was a death wish. That he wanted.
Well, he kept saying he wanted the death penalty.
Yeah.
He wanted to die.
That's
so.
And I did, and that's why again I'm sorry. I was like,
and then he got cut. And he was kind of like, huh.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. David
in church of all things. Damn.
Trying to get you where they can get you.
Yeah. Especially he was focused too. He was like really listening.
I believe in Jesus.
Have a chance.
He's trying to let Jesus in. He's like, well, I'm gonna let you in this knife in the neck.
I was like, you need to go see him. David changed his surname and is living a private life. He never attended his brother's trial. I was like,
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, I'd be like, I don't know that motherfucker.
Yeah, well, like in the documentaries, like when they show like family photos, well, most of the times they just blur out his face.
They blur out his face. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, blur out his face. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I saw some people complain saying like, why do they show like more? How come we didn't hear about his brother? I'm like, well, because his brother don't want to have no part of it. His parents were fine, like interviewing and stuff like that, as well as his stepmother. But his brother's like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
So the famous impact statement for Rita Isabel, who went off.
You turd. Fuck you, turd.
I was like, the fact that I watched
just like her.
Huh?
She looked just like that homegirl.
I was like, it was good, but like her Earl Isabel, her brother, the one like it would have been, if we're gonna see that, it would have been nice to get his Anthony type story, so I can like understand where this is coming from, because I thought that was Anthony's sister, because he did have a sister, so I was like, oh, that's why that's how they're connected. That's a whole other victim, so it would have been made more sense to get into that for me. So
I agree with that. I actually thought that the people who gave the impact testimonial, I thought that's who he was going to focus on. Those people. But
well, they said that the I can't pronounce their name, but the Laotian family, they didn't make a statement. They just put that in there.
Yeah, when I watched the video, they weren't part of it. They weren't there, and I was like, what?
And then that other guy, like when he was talking, I was like, what is he talking about?
Oh yeah,
the white
dude was like a white guy.
So he's
It's like you killed the baby of the family. I hope you go to hell.
Oh,
in real life, he's just as weird. He was just look at that up on YouTube.
So his
just
brother,
as weird. They got that right too. They got
Donald Bradford. His brother was Joseph Bradford. He was one of he didn't say that in court for some reason. But he was one of John's Jessica.
Yeah, that was his final victim, wasn't it? Final victim before Tracy came along.
Yeah, because I think they did it in order,
victim.
because I had to do a screenshot. But like, casting was so perfect for that character. I was like, that is that dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
the hair and everything.
He reminded me of Richard Simmons. I ain't gonna lie. I saw that fucker. I was like, this is Richard Simmons.
It was like Richard Simmons meets Hurley from Lost. It was
I was like, this is. But like, I mean, that was my point. I was like, casting was so good from the major characters to the minor characters. Like, they found someone to look just like this dude and acted it all out. But again, if you're gonna pick and choose which statements that you're gonna focus on, then give us some backstory on those victims so we know to connect with that. Because I'm like, who is this dude? Like, again, he didn't even mention his brother's name. So I'm really like, who the fuck are you? Like, that would have been something. Like, each episode.
Now, would you be okay if they did that and have like 13 episodes?
I think we could have had less time of him just sitting around drinking and
because in my opinion, they could have done this in 6.
Yeah.
They could have been done, even 5 maybe. They could have just kind of, there was a lot of him just.
That's like, you know what? Actually,
could
have just done a movie.
Stop it, Chris. I actually feel like Tony Anthony Hughes could have been a movie. I would have watched that movie. Him overcoming being deaf, being black, being gay.
No, you wouldn't.
I would have.
No, I'll tell you why. The whole time you'd be like,
not if they like blurred out the sound half the time. That was irritating me.
I was gonna say that would be irritating. And 2, this would be you, David. Where's the condom? Where's the condom? No protection. No protection. Every single time. You count how many times he got digged down and then there was no protection.
I would say that no matter what.
And then you'll be like, well, how come? It's like, what noise does he make if he has sex? Like, what would if he's dead? Like, you would ask questions like that.
I would not have asked those questions. I actually thought it was autistic. I actually thought it was autistic for them to be like, what does the world look like through him? I actually thought that was pretty cool. And again, for them to go to that kind of detail, I was like, they really were trying to humanize him. I thought that was cool. But to your point, an hour and a half of that would have been annoying as fuck. Like, don't get me wrong. But like a couple of moments, I would thought that would have been cool to see. It would have been a good movie. He has a great story, a real life story. What his family is like after his death, after the trial, would have been awesome. I thought. And then Glenda not being real, like a lot of the stuff, like their focus on her forgiving Jeff and all this bullshit got on my nerves. Because I'm like, you are not a victim. Like he murdered real people's kids. Like let's talk about go back to Shirley. Go back to Shirley and go back to the Rita and all these people who were like, you destroyed my life. Those are the people I want to hear about. Like I don't need to hear her.
Like, Glenda's not real.
She's not a victim. Like again, she was not the
one.
Oh,
you mean like
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
The character they portrayed did not happen the way she happened. So this whole shit about I'm still having PTSD for living next to him. Well, you didn't live next.
But she refused to move. Or stay at her daughter's house.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy? I would have been out of when people make it stink in here now. I'm like, look, damn it. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like people smoke weed and stuff and it comes in my apartment. I have asthma. I don't need to be smelling all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so a dead body, I'd be like, you know what? I call my sons. Let's go. I gotta go. I gotta move.
It made no sense. It made no sense. Like I'm like,
the whole building had to smell like dead body.
Yes.
Like you had to smell that walking into the building, and then the smell got stronger as you got to Jeffrey's house, right?
Yeah.
Come on. And then when the grandmother, the scene with the dad, like at the drain in the basement.
Yeah.
And the dad, I'm like, dude, you know damn well that that's not roadkill.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
So his father was in denial a lot of
that. Yeah. I'm about to say that I in a weird way, I kind of understood both the father and the grandmother. I can kind of understand how both of them can be denied, especially the grandmother being denied that
she was getting dementia, right?
Was setting in.
Yeah, it was starting to set in, but she knew there was something wrong with Jeffrey.
Well, I guess she started to figure out that he was gay,
right?
But she was clueless as far as what was really going on. His father knew something bad was happening, but he didn't. And I can understand from his point of view, just the idea of just trying to push it aside, like no, like just that voice speaking loudly to like, no, this is my son. No, he's just alcoholic. Oh yeah, he got kicked out of the military because
you're trying to rationalize it. That's the problem. Yeah. Like, no, if you know there's something going on with your child, even though I know he wrote the letters to the judge, that was true. He did do that. He wanted his son to have like mental health and help with the alcoholism. I get that part, but his father could have still done more to get his son into treatment. And he didn't do, because Jeffrey listened to his dad, right? He could have said, look, Jeff, you have some issues. I really need you to go to this program. And he could have done it. Like he helped him get apartments and all that stuff. So it wasn't about money or anything. He just chose not to put him in a program.
I feel like a lot of parents do that, unfortunately, though. A lot of parents think of the parents who are now think of those two parents that are now in jail because their son wound up shooting up that school. You know those because they try to cover it up. They're like, oh my God, what did you do or whatnot? And then they try to cover it up. They start deleting texts to protect them. And now they're in jail. You're right. What you're saying isn't wrong, but in reality, parents just protect their kids.
It depends on the parents. Yeah, I would say. So Marissa Dora says, all spit and no condom. Yes, we've back to Chris's point. I'm hilarious. None of that came up. And to this point, if we're just real quick, we never saw Jeff actually have sex with anyone. Like actually, like it. So that was very telling to me, or just interesting that it was all just about intimacy, like he just wanted to control these people so that he could have someone to lay next to and but like
he was lonely. He just wanted to hold someone.
That was the only way he could get
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well. Like he
He
couldn't.
was like, when he was beaten off to the idea of squeezing like the fish guts, I was like, this is not something I need to be seeing. Like
what about the drinking of the blood? I threw up in my mouth. I was like, you didn't need to show me this.
I was thinking, I was like, damn, we watching Blade right now?
Yeah.
Hey,
what the hell is this? This is true blood shit. Okay.
So because he didn't get a job in a morgue or something.
Right?
No, right? I was like,
that was surprised. I would have thought he did that, but the butcher shop, when he got that job, I knew that was the perfect job for him because he liked the shininess of the raw meat. I was like, oh, perfect.
It turns him on.
Butcher shop.
And then I love to the Ryan's Murphy direction, the fact that they made meat cutting look so disgusting. Even though he's cutting up real meat, the fact that they made it so eerie was like perfect. I was like, that's awesome. That they're like,
it's kind of like Dexter in the theme song, like,
yeah, in the intro when he's just making his breakfast, and you're like, he's
eating the ham with the hot sauce on it.
Putting that red sauce on it, and you're like,
and he just putting on his shoes, and you're like, this crazy motherfucker.
And his hands are red with blood.
I was like, it was awesome. It was. I know you spilled the tea. I was acknowledging your new name. Glenda, it was a mixture of two actual people who lived in the building and called the cops multiple times. It was interesting to hear the 911 call to be like, this legit what happened. When she called back, because she was the neighbor, not like out next door, it was like, no, seriously, that's a child. No, it's fine. It's a grown-ass gay situation. We don't do gay shit. Thank you, ma'am. Click. Are you sure?
Call the gay police.
We don't do gayness. Excuse me. Click. I was like, sued. I'm glad they at least tried to sue those cops. I imagine if Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy met, they both were gay serial killers. Yeah, I mean, that would have been an interesting combo. In the guise of prison.
Jeffrey liked them young and pretty, so nah. Jeffrey liked him young and pretty. He was into like the beautiful young men.
They would have hunted.
So Gacy wouldn't have.
They would.
He's old and chubby.
Oh yeah, he's a bear. Is that a bear?
Both of their motivations are different. Both of them.
They both would achieve the same goal, man. I mean, young men in power.
No. Yeah, ultimately, what I'm saying is Jeffrey Dahmer's. That's the thing, though. Jeffrey Dahmer's goal wasn't just to kill; it was essentially, literally, to have a forever companion. He wanted a sex slave, and that's why he tried to make them zombies or whatnot. But he just wanted someone, if I can keep them alive, to not leave him.
If he had Google and YouTube,
but John Wayne literally
could have watched videos about lobotomies and perfected a process.
Yeah.
To that point, without the internet, the fact that he used fucking Thanksgiving turkey cutting tools and a regular oven to chop up and get rid of that the hitchhiker's body without fucking up all the plumbing in that house was extremely impressive. I'm like, this dude was like, let me figure this out. Like,
you know what though? No, that's right. I do remember though. They did find like books, like anatomy books and stuff like that. They found like he had books of that, like certain things that you would imagine.
His toilet kept backing up. He always had an issue of his toilet backing up.
They should have showed that, because I'm like, you are shoving flesh down the toilet and it's not made for that. So eventually, like Roto-Rooter's coming, and you're gonna be like, what is down here, sir? But the fact that he was like, let me turn the oven up to 500, and eventually this bone is gonna get hot enough where I can break it up. I'm like, damn. I mean, you put effort behind this, sir. I mean, crazy.
Remember, he learned medical stuff from when he was in the army. He learned that medical stuff. So he learned how to drug people. Remember when he asked that lady, tell me, so what is that? I forgot what he said exactly. It was a drug that will knock you out. Right. Yeah.
That was my other problem. Thank you, Kim. That was my other problem. When he was unemployed, one, he had minimum wage job. Then he loses his job, and somehow he still has enough money to pay for these high powerful sedatives.
Why he moved to the black neighborhood? Because it was cheap.
I was like, I mean,
where's the Section 8 or something?
I'm like, where's the money coming from? How you
That helped him out a lot too.
I think his grandma did too.
And his grandma, they kept giving him money. Yeah. That's the thing about it. They enabled him.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that a lot of the guilt comes from. His dad, I just watched before I actually watched the series. they have an interview of his dad. I guess it was like maybe 2020. His dad is like 86 now or something.
Yeah.
And that man, he just has so many regrets because he feels like everything that happened was all his fault. And he cries and cries and cries and cries. And I'm like, I'm not saying that it wasn't his fault. Like a lot of it, you were you love your son, we get that, but your son, you knew was killing people. There's no way you didn't know that he was doing the things he was doing, and you enabled him. And so did the grandma. And so did a lot, even the mom too. The mom knew this, he was batshit crazy. Well, that's why she wanted his brain tested.
Well, this is after he got convicted.
True.
I'm about to say all this was after.
Was wrong with her son.
But I'm saying, but a lot of people say, I guess people on the outside always say, how did
how you miss the signs? That's easy for outsiders to say.
But that's why Brian showed that incredible scene where the father was crying in the car with the stepmother, and he went back into the Rolodex of all the signs that were present. Remember that scene?
Yeah,
that
he was like,
excellent scene.
He was like, damn it, wait a minute, I did see, but like hindsight is always, his parents.
I was gonna say, like, I could see how his father would just think like the biggest thing that he's hiding from him was him being gay. And him sexually assaulting a minor and him being an alcoholic. Like,
no, but when he smelled that smell,
he should have.
Come on,
yeah,
I think that was Netflix. I don't know that.
See, that's also.
I know about the roommates. I know about the apartment roommates like smelling it. I don't remember his father ever smelling it, but I don't know.
I'm talking about when he was at the grandmother's house in the drain.
Yeah, and Netflix is what I'm saying. Though.
That's what I'm saying. That could have been dramatization. Yeah. Chris says,
that's what
I'm saying. It's so crazy because we don't know. So again, a lot of this stuff, we don't know what's true, was fact or fiction, just for the story, right? Because
the dad in that interview in 2020 said there was a lot of things that he saw and that he didn't put together in his brain at that moment. So he kind of knew, but kind of was like, I'm going to push this to the side. He's just an alcoholic. He went into denial about his kid. That's what it was. But he knew that his son was doing something that was killing people. He knew
But like you said, the smell of rotting flesh, you should be like, wait, I need to get into this drain and be like, what do you do in a grandma's house? The series is probably 65% accurate. Yeah, I mean everything they take some dramatic license with. I mean, you got to tell an action story. Again, the whole so Anthony Hughes story, their whole love relationship, I'm pretty all that was probably made the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But it was beautifully made. But again, and also the gay Black community in Milwaukee can't be that big that you ain't talking to be like fucking so and so just disappeared. Like where are our friends at? Like,
did they really have those signs everywhere? Like so and so's missing. Have you seen so and so?
Yeah, they did.
And he was banned from the bathhouses. They knew he was crazy.
Yeah. So how's the story not get out to be like, hey, look out for
the only white guy?
Those were two different ends of towns, though, right? The bathhouses was like mostly catered. It was like mostly white, right? And then that club was like more minorities and whatnot. So I can see how they might not interact.
People talk.
Yeah.
But maybe. I mean, not one gay person might just be okay with other groups. You see what I'm saying?
What I'm saying, I don't know. Going to the same club at some point, he was going to the same clubs. I mean, he didn't have that much range of hunting.
And then Tony's friend disappeared. Yeah, or whatever.
Rico. No. They found him dead. So he was dead. No, he wasn't a victim. No, that one, I think that was like gay bashing. I think that really was a gay bash. That one had nothing to do with Dahmer, but that just kind of spoke to what was going on in the gay community.
But do you guys think that he killed the guy who had the last name Vaughn in the building?
If that's
they
true,
say he never admitted to it. Right, and even if that were true, you see the dude with the neighbor, and then the neighbor disappears. And
you don't talk to anybody. You don't talk to a property manager. Somebody to be like, we need to go. Actually, again, go into Jeffrey's room. Like, it just seemed weird. Jeffrey killed a few white men too. Yeah. I mean, he had a range. He killed quite a few. He had a range of victims.
Yeah. He killed what he had access to.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He was a murderer of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And it just happened to be with his environment. Again, I know it happened in real life. So I mean, like Jesse. So they didn't show the crack stuff because in real life, apparently this was a crack neighborhood. I thought it was kind of weird for the lady to be like, "Hey, are you trying to rob me?" Because like crackheads and dealers around here. And I'm like, "Where are the crackheads and where are the dealers?" And then Jesse Jackson shows up. I'm like, "Fuck you, Jesse Jackson." I was upset. I was upset with all that. I'm like, because you are instigating shit. Yes, you are.
He's just like Al Sharpton. In my opinion, he's just like Al Sharpton. Yep. Jesse Jackson has always been that minister that is always in shit, but he doesn't help shit. Just like with Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, it was always that way. He's still that way. Al Sharpton still goes out and acts like he's helping people. He's not doing anything but bringing attention to himself. That's it.
That's right. So, he's just skinny with a big head now.
Yes.
I was like, damn, it's like,
oh my goodness.
I saw him. Terry and I saw him at a play once. I was like, dude, that motherfucker, dude got.
He's in the play?
Huh?
Really? Oh, he's doing theater now?
No. We went to go see Denzel in a play, and he was in the crowd. He was very young girlfriend or whatever was in the crowd, and people were talking to him in intermission, and I was like, motherfucker, damn. I was like, he's short and skinny, got a big head. Anyway, I was like, fuck that dude too. But my point is, I was like, he's moving up the world. I mean, he got a young lady. Good for him. At this time, gay people were losing people left and right. Yeah, from HIV and Jeffrey.
HIV, hate crime. But they're not disappearing, were they?
Yeah, I mean, when you got AIDS, I mean,
no, but that increased like a lot of deaths in the gay community because straight people were getting it. So they just like, whoa, you guys are the cause of it, and that caused what do you call it?
Gay bashing,
homophobia to increase even further. You know what I mean?
So that's why the cops were like, I need to go home and get deloused. I mean, there is context to this homophobia that they were going through, you know what I'm saying? And like, so.
And if a gay person disappears, who cares? That's the attitude.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And also true. It was a bad situation that he was able to take advantage of.
Exactly. That's what he did. That's the right way to say it.
Yep. And I was like, he was like, it's a perfect storm of shit. And he's like, yeah.
It was perfect.
He said because he kept getting away with it. Like he even shocked him that he was getting away with it. Like he was like, nobody's catching me.
How'd you not catch me? I got a head in my fucking refrigerator. Like it's an apartment.
And not only that, just think of not only were they because they were gay, but they were men. Think about if a woman goes missing compared to a man goes missing, right? Like a lot of times if a man goes missing, like, oh, he'll pop up. Or whatever. One goes missing, like, yo, where the fuck is she? You know what I mean? So with guys, they're not. The first instinct isn't, oh, we gotta call the cops, and you know what I mean? No. That's not the first
terrible
instinct.
Because a person missing is scary. Period. Like it should be. Someone should be trying to find that person. But unfortunately, true. I mean, it's woman. And then what your skin color is, and then then it goes down the line. Is she a hooker? Is she a not? All of that.
I tell you this: if Jeffrey Dahmer was straight, bro, they would have caught him after his third murder. I'm telling you, at his third murder, they would have caught that.
Okay, most serial killers were killing women.
Yeah.
So let's not do.
let's not.
Yeah. But a lot of serial killers usually stop at not in the teens. Why is it that him and John Wayne Gacy is like up in double digits?
I'm sure. As a serial killer,
they both
as you know, there's many men that have at least 20 women and plus, and kind of like, I mean, that they just. But again, we talked about the black one, right?
Remember the guy in Chicago, the one there was a documentary about him on Showtime, I believe, or Stars. One of them, a guy who killed they were crackhead women who were prostituting themselves.
Yeah.
And he killed like a lot of women.
Oh, the black guy?
There was one in LA that did that too. He was prostitute.
You talking about the Golden State guy?
Yeah. No,
I think he killed both.
No.
I think he did.
This was a
no. I'm talking about what
we did a video on him. We did a video on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
you guys, I wasn't there, but okay.
Oh, wait, all right. So
wait, you weren't there?
You were like,
I don't think so.
Damn it, I'll go back and find that video.
Oh, wait, you talking about that guy. You talking about not him. No. There was a different one.
All right, don't act like you weren't on that video.
Yeah, I was on that one. No.
I was like, damn it. I was like, we're not having this conversation again, damn it. I was like, I'm confused. I remember.
No, there was a different guy. I'll pull it up.
All right.
But he was out of Chicago, and actually, he had a couple of survivors. There was one woman who had to jump out of a window naked. And she was a crackhead. They talked. Most of the women who survived, they were in the documentary.
Oh.
And they were not believed This man kept doing it over and over and over again. And the survivors, like one woman was in his car. She had to jump out of a moving car to get away from him. Like he was just killing the prostitutes in the neighborhood. And nobody was caring. Nobody cared. Formerly jumped out the window naked and somebody saw her.
Formerly spilled the tea says it was Samuel something. He was a black serial killer.
That's it.
He killed prostitutes.
What's Spilled the Tea's new name? What's her name? What's her name now?
Marissa Dior.
What? Say you both said at the same time. What?
Go ahead, Kim.
Marissa Dior.
Oh, Marissa Dior. Okay.
I like that.
Samuel Little. Samuel Little. I feel like we.
Samuel Little. No, that's a different.
That's the guy we talked about.
That's the one we talked about.
He did the artwork and shit, and he just died. He died like a couple years ago in prison.
Not him. This is a different guy.
This is a different dude. Anyway, Kim's gonna find it, and we'll get to it. He killed over 100 women in California, and police never caught him. A black woman put pressure on the police to arrest him. A lot of them were working women. I mean, it's a common profile. Most killers, they go after prostitutes, they go after homeless people, get man or woman, gay or straight, it don't matter because they realize these people disappear and nobody gives a fuck. You know, I mean, and it makes it easy. And so it's really sad with that. Some killers. Oh, I would like Ryan Murphy to do one by John Wayne Gacy. I think he would do a great job.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough, and I say it's going to be a tough one because unlike Jeffrey Dahmer, because think about it, Jeffrey Dahmer created he had a 160-page confession. John Wayne Gacy was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, obviously, yes, you can create something. His stuff would be more of a movie. I don't know if you can do. You would have to talk about embellish like a huge amount of.
I got you. All right, it'd be more fiction.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like you can do that, and it's funny to your point when I was watching it because I was like, damn, you kind of look like John Wayne Gacy. A part of me was like, oh, I kind of want to see that, and I was thinking like, well, shit, how much of it will just be made up for this one, especially? You know what I mean? A lot of stuff he just took to his grave. You know,
I was like, because I think it'd be an awesome story.
Sleeper. His name is Lonnie Franklin Jr.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Over 1,000 photographs were found in his house, and he killed 33 women.
All right, John, Gary,
yeah,
Ridgway.
For that guy.
So we got Gary Ridgway. Netflix has a documentary on Gacy. Jeffrey Dahmer shouldn't have. Jeffrey Dahmer should have ran into Lil Murda. That would have been hilarious.
Lil Murda is Jesus right now.
I was like, oh, he's Jesus right now. On Tails, right? On Tails.
Wait, what?
He's playing Jesus.
Playing Jesus.
No, he's not. Stop
Yeah,
it.
he did. Yeah.
On what now?
Kanye West song, like Jesus Walks. He played Jesus on Tails. Yeah.
Anthony Sewell was in Cleveland, Ohio. One woman escaped from the window to get away from him.
No, the guy's name is Lonnie. His name is Lonnie Franklin Jr.
Oh, so we got a lot of black serial killers.
Chicago. This is Chicago.
Yeah. All right, so let's list.
It's a lot of them out there.
It's a lot of black serial killers.
There's a ton of them.
Don't sleep on us. Like we can murder too. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
there's a whole podcast dedicated to serial killers that are black.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Where's our representation? I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, that's why they made the podcast, because they said there's no representation of us as serial killers. So they made.
You will find racism in any damn thing. We're like, fuck it. We're murderers.
Oh yeah, you definitely will. Yeah.
Yep.
Damn you, Ryan Murphy, you racist bastard. Make one about us.
Oh yeah.
I
feel like that's a big component. I truly feel like that was another thing too. It was like not only were a lot of them minorities and then they were gay. It's just I think it was also because they were men too. You know, so that kind of helped the focus not to be on them. You know what I mean? Especially at that time, you had like there was a lot of stuff going on. You had the Rodney King beatings. You had HIV on the rise. You know what I mean? Something else going on during the night.
Reginald Denny. Don't forget about Reginald Denny.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Damn
but, you know, so, you know, crack epidemic, you know, sky. So, you know, they're like, oh, you want me to look for a black gay male in the projects? Okay.
Throw a stone.
You know.
Which one? I was like, no. She was like, call.
It was a chaotic time, and people were able to kind of get away with stuff. for a long
gang violence in the Black community is a serial killing too. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, but Jesse Jackson ain't coming for that because fuck him. They're praising the guy who played Dahmer, but they had bad mouth the bad mouth the guy who played Lil Murder. Goddamn hypocrites. Okay, I'm trying to figure what
is he talking about?
Hold up.
What's he talking about?
They praised the guy who played Dahmer, but they badmouthed the guy who played Lil Murder. Who badmouthed the guy who played Lil Murder? Who's they? Are you talking about us? They? Ryan Murphy could do a series on John.
No, unless it means how Lil Murder's character just all of a sudden just went. If you don't want to talk about that, okay.
Oh no!
Had nothing to do with him being
define
gay.
who they are. If we are the they, then
you gotta confused. Expound on that.
You need to expound on that because I got no problem with Lil Murder. I be honest. I don't know something about. Wayne Williams was a Black serial killer who killed almost 30 kids. Did he though? So then that's the other question. That's a whole other question.
Who's this?
Wayne Williams. Atlanta child murders. That's a whole other thing. I mean, because that documentary was like he was railroaded. Like they were like he's gay.
Well, but you think about it too. Did the killer all of a sudden stop killing once they put the non-killer in jail? How does that work?
I see. So I see your point. I said, but there was a combination. They were like, we need somebody to put down for this, and they're like,
Well, that's true. But I'm just saying, if he didn't do it, the killings magically stopped.
I get you. I get
serial killers don't just say, you know what? I'm gonna
because you caught somebody.
They take breaks. They do.
They could move on to another city.
Well, it's been about 30. It's been about 35 years now, right?
No, you're right. So, it's kind of suspicious, but that documentary was all kind. I was like, I felt so bad I was like, fuck, dude, because like those, and that's when it's really about economics, who you are, not like on a social scale. Because they had a first black mayor, black police chief, and those black kids were being murdered, and no one gave a fuck.
And also remember too, those guys were corrupt too. Those mayors, those senators, all of them went to jail for either jail or they got investigated for stuff.
For something.
Okay?
We got investigated.
We never can just get a job and do a good job.
Oh, that's Baltimore.
Do something underhanded, right?
That's Baltimore, baby. You black in Baltimore in the government, you are getting investigated because you did some shit, especially if you're a woman. I was like, hilarious.
I mean, the mayor of New York was like, what, a Supreme Team member?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's also, he come up. He used to be a street CEO, and now he's the mayor. I was like, that's some bullshit. Anyway, we're getting off track. He should have met the highest or the icon. Hilarious. I was like, I want Tyler Perry to do a version of him in the fuck in that show. He needs to, in Ruthless. I need to see Tyler Perry's version of him. Are we gonna? I saw the comment. Are we gonna review Tyler Perry's movie? No, because we do enough. We're doing the Oval that's gonna start next week. But I'd be damned. I'm not. What? Yeah, the 11th. I'm not doing Tyler Perry jazz, whatever the fuck. Like I'm not.
It feels like, did you tell me?
I think it's coming. October 11th. You gotta get ready, Stacey. And then even Cardi B said that movie was shit. So I don't know what you want me to do. So her review is all you need. All right, come on. Let's get to family business. Yeah, we're gonna do family business after this. All right. Chris, anything else? What's up, Stacey?
I need an intermission.
All right.
Me too.
All right. So text me. Well, just click on the button when you're ready. I gotta go to my bladder's talking to me. Bodies talking. Anyway, that's another kid who like kids. Chris. What you got?
Goodness. Wait, really?
I like the soundtrack.
No.
I like the soundtrack of the.
You have to acknowledge.
The whale thing. The thing with the whale noises.
Hilarious.
That was funny. That was
hilarious. And I don't know if that was true. But that shit was hilarious.
Why did you give it to him? That is right.
You are a criminal.
Yes.
Like why is he getting any of this shit? Like I don't
know. I had like comic books and stuff either.
They get all types of stuff in jail. Have you not watched?
He got some fan. He got some fan service.
So
TVs, they got cable. They got everything.
Well, I would like to be like. So someone made that the comment. How do serial killers get like fans? Like a lot of them do. Like they are.
Yes. It's Charles Manson married one of his fans.
Yeah. I know that. But
the Strangler too. What's his name?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, the Hispanic dude.
Yeah, the Night Stalker. You talking about the Night Stalker?
Yeah, the Night Stalker.
Yeah, Night Stalker.
He
Night Stalker.
married one of his fans.
Yeah. A lot of his photos. He had a lot of photos of like girls taking off their clothes and stuff like that and stuff. Yeah.
His brothers, they got married.
I was like, you know what I'm saying? A woman likes a man she knows where he's at all times. Like he can't leave me. Like he's they just crazy. There's something wrong with you. What's the point in getting married?
It's
the husband is in jail and you're out.
Like, girls like him bad boys.
That's what I'm saying. What was I watching? I was like, Reasonable Doubt. That's what I was watching. I was like, bad decisions.
Why is this a thing?
Right, Stacey? You watch that shit. Hold on. Bad decisions.
Guys, tell me, should I watch this?
Damn it, black women.
I watch it too, Chris. I like to watch it. Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. All right, add me to the list tomorrow.
All right, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, what?
What is happening?
It's a black shit.
Like that car scene, I was like,
what?
If he was like, show, we're gonna be like that anyway.
I know, but like the fingers, when I saw the fingers, I was like, oh shit. I was like, this should not be on Hulu. Like this is not Hulu.
I was confused. Like, what channel am I watching?
You look at watching the channel, you're like, this Cinemax After Dark.
And I was like, if she called her husband a nigga one more time, I'm gonna scream.
I was like, too many niggas. I was like,
too many niggas up in this show.
It's too many niggas. I was like, damn it, black folks. This is
why you can't let it. Patron shots.
Oh no, it's not force level. Like it's not force level, but it's unnecessary. Like I'm saying, these are not nigga people. Like this ain't nigga situations, right? So I'm like, it's unnecessary. It's that they're just trying to prove that they black, and I'm like, I get it, I see you. But anyway, we'll go all this. So we got 2 episodes, Chris. If you want to Michael Ealy, this show's gonna get canceled anyway. So this is appreciated. But again, he wasn't that big part of the thing. At least not in episode 1. So he's a small part, so that may save the show. So I
think he's gonna be a bigger part as it progresses. So
because she loves herself some criminals. Anyway, guys. Next. So anyway, guys, thank you guys very much for the video. We truly appreciate all you. We're gonna do family business. So we're gonna say goodbye to Chris. We will see his handsome self tomorrow morning at 1:00 for Power. So we're gonna get back to the Palomar.
Oh yeah, damn it.
Palomar / Sasha, who moved on to her best life. That has to be Chris. Damn it, Chris. I was like, what we doing?
That wasn't me.
Look, I like the soundtrack of this.
I was jamming.
Wasn't it? I was jamming.
No, when he started trying to dance, I was like, what is happening?
Oh my goodness.
It was all over the place. What about when he flopped on the floor?
Yo.
And it was turning those black dudes on like, ooh,
yeah. Was in school. They were like, do the number.
I was
like,
what?
Wow.
That actually happened. One of his classmates said he did that. I did that just because he just wanted to be extreme. So the whole blacking out his yearbook thing, because it was a prank that he pulled, like trying to show up at the National Honor Society, and then so they had to black out his face.
GPA. Was that real?
I don't know about the GPA.
So, okay, did y'all think that they kind of overreacted when they were all standing around looking at the
yeah.
Yeah.
They were all like, oh my God. I was like, this is not really that deep. Like,
let me tell you why I don't think so. I went to school with white people, especially white people who actually want to have those big GPAs and whatnot. They are serious about who belongs, who don't belong.
That's true.
No,
that is true.
That was some realistic shit. That was realistic.
How the fuck did you not see him walk in? He's not a ninja. Like he's
not a small dude.
Like he's not
at least tall.
He's a tall guy.
Like you did not see this big white motherfucker standing next to you and be like, "Hey, yo, Jeff, what you doing here?" Like that's not that hard.
So it's a National Honor Society, which means you don't necessarily are in like take all classes together necessarily. So with the prank that he pulled, he would just kind of show up in pictures. He would just kind of walk in the background of the curtains, and then when they try to cuddle like all 40 or 50 of them up, he just kind of moves in. But the crowd was like, "Oh, okay." So you see,
he was in the middle. If he was like in the back like this, I could see it.
Yeah.
But
true.
But to your point, they still saw him in the photo and unanimously said, "You don't belong here."
Right. I was on the yearbook staff. You have to proof those pictures before you send them in to get it printed. So they could have caught that beforehand.
Yeah. See, she knew that.
Well, I mean, they're just as incompetent as the cops, so they missed it.
Songs gave me flashbacks. It was
of Wales.
No, it's the soundtrack of them dancing in the club and stuff. I was like,
Oh.
I was like, is
the
this a
80s
gay
song?
club or a regular club?
Like,
Or what we doing?
Tom Anthony, he was just like, she's like, how are you dancing? He's like, feel my heart. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I learned as a kid, they
I'm
like
sorry.
feel the vibrations.
It's a vibration.
I'm sorry, that was a little
I have a
corny
deaf
for me,
cousin.
but it was cool. I know what they're trying to do. Some of that stuff with Tony, I was like, all right, that's corny as hell. But all right, but I know what they're trying to do.
He's like,
so
can I have
A
job?
for effort, but
Can I have job? They're like, no job for you. He's like, okay. I was like, can I have job? I was like, oh.
I used to know sign language.
and no, this nigga comes out with a notepad, basically saying, he's like, hold on, like it's like, hey, we want to go in the back room. It's like, first I want to know, does love live here? Like,
stop it. I was like, stop
bro,
it.
I lost it, dude.
I was like, I thought he was gonna be like,
I know everyone was probably like, oh, and I was just over like, bro, he did not decide.
That was
like,
nice.
hey, he's like, I don't suck dick on the first date.
Right. He's like, I'm saving myself for somebody
He
special.
said, does love live here? Nigga, you just met this guy today.
He's like,
how you gonna ask him
this? He
That
said,
don't mean it can't be love.
the same day.
I was like, come on, bro. I was like, don't be doing this. You need to have, there's certain flashcards you just need to have. His friend was like, just go ahead and suck him. I was like, yo, y'all doing too much. I was like, I was like, it is like fuck another
yeah, his friend did say that.
Yeah, he was like,
yo, you know what though?
Those don't live here.
Is that the universal sign language?
Hilarious. Be like, booty. We
What?
No, his friend Rico kept doing this.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, no grease.
Marissa said he can dance at Club Eden.
Oh,
yeah.
That's probably true. That's probably Tyler Perry would be like, you are hired, sir. That's what they need. They need more representation of the handicapped community. Nigga Ninja Turtles. Interesting.
You said Naked Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, nigga Ninja.
I don't know who that guy is, but I like him. Go ahead. All right.
That's Spill the Tea.
Yeah, because he was silent as a ninja spilled the tea. Like he did kind of just get in the picture. Was like, I was like, oh my god,
what the fuck? Yeah, he was like,
yeah, he just
like, how'd you
there.
I was like, how'd you do that? I was like, this. That's how he got these dudes, because he was like, oh shit, where you coming from? I was like, gotcha, bitch. It's like, oh damn it.
Gotcha, bitch. Oh yeah, in your background, right? In the background, you know the scene, I guess, when he was drugging that 14-year-old. Did they give him contacts?
Yeah,
to make him look like a monster.
He used to wear contacts.
He used to wear
Yellow
contacts. He wanted to look like. Okay, I actually took a note of it. He wanted to look like
the Emperor. He said
the Emperor. Yeah, he wanted to look like the Emperor from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
and the Gemini Killer. And he liked watching the Exorcist movie too.
Yeah. I remember Exorcist 3. It just seemed like that scene of all the scenes, he looked like more of the monster than anything. Like as if like the camera work of Netflix, they just kind of monstered him up a little bit more with Photoshop or something. Yeah, you know what I mean?
For dramatic effects.
Yeah.
You know, because like they made me look crazy. I mean, okay, this last thing. Were they eating steak for real? Was he eating steak for real? That's supposed to be a body part. Remember when
that was a body part? That was somebody's body.
Oh, the thing he cooked up? Yeah, that was like
that was somebody's.
That was
like a bicep
or something, wasn't it?
It looked like a liver.
I thought it was a steak. And then what?
No, dude. No, that was a body part.
That was a body part for
but
sure.
Legit. Yeah. Tyler Perry loved black naked men. Chris and David hired next. Ha. Spills he no. Kim and Stacey.
If you pay me.
Kim and Stacey, the new mother elders. What is that?
Elder mothers.
Ruthless. Oh, okay. Elder mothers. That's my mother. Elder mothers. I was like, no. We would not be.
We had to go to coronation first.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, damn. Yeah, we're not trying to be Oh fuck, what's it called? When they're indoctrinated. When they
seated.
Oh, court. Yeah, see, we ain't trying to be seated or
men have to be seated when they go through coronation.
You get gang banged after they get banged.
What?
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Like he has to screw the dude so that his seed can be in the dude, and then he screws you, and the seed passes through the man to the woman.
Oh, sounds
then
like
the baby is born, even though there are no babies in this whole camp. But
except that random one that got pregnant off camera. Remember that? Remember she was like, "Oh, remember so-and-so got pregnant." We didn't see the said person, but they mentioned it.
Because it wasn't real.
I was like, "This don't make any sense." I was like, "Damn, you Tyler Perry." Anyway, let's get to Paris because that don't make any sense. So we're gonna get to, let me know during the next review. Oh, Oh, you actually want to do that? So write us, email us, and we will add you to the group. Spill tea if you want to join us for power. We will be.
She coming out of hiding.
So you come. I remember because we were like, does she exist? Is she 12? I was concerned. I was like, we need to hold you.
It's your ID first, though.
Yeah, you gotta show us your ID because this ain't no Jeffrey Dahmer shit. Well, when I ain't gonna do it, anybody gonna be calling looking for me. I'll be like, you gotta prove legal age. You know, I'm big on that. I'm big on that. And consent.